Hey everybody, Brendan here in front of the whiteboard. And in today's video, it's a hot topic, constipation. I've had at least 4 to 5 people messaging me in the last 48 hours complaining about their constipation. In fact, my mom, the other day I was talking to her and she told me that one of her friends was dealing with constipation. In fact, I even had someone message me while they were on vacation on a tropical beach complaining about their constipation, asking for some kind of relief. So I gave them a quick little fix. If you don't know who I am, my name is Brendan. I'm also known as the Gut Whisperer. And I ultimately help people lose weight, reduce inflammation, balance their hormones, relieve their gut issues, constipation or diarrhea, all by starting at the root cause, their gut and their digestion. Many times people will see me after they've exhausted all of their efforts. They've seen GPs, they've seen doctors, they've seen NDs, they've seen naturopaths, they've seen GI specialists to no avail. Well, let's talk about constipation. First and foremost, I'm going to define it according to a functional medicine practitioner or a holistic practitioner like myself. A condition where an individual experiences infrequent bowel movements or has difficulty passing stool. Typically less than 3 to 4 bowel movements per week. We also need to look at other issues such as abdominal pain, gas, bloating, or other symptoms. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to be talking about a few or multiple underlying factors. And let's just bang these out really quick because I know you just want the solution. You don't really care about what's going on, but I can't really teach you and I can't give you the culprit or the strategy without kind of teaching you. So let's just hang with me right now. Food intake or poor food combining. What's on the end of the fork will have an immediate impact on your ability to take proper bowel movements. Hydration, if you're dehydrated, that's a factor. If you're drinking alcohol or pop or carbonated beverages, if you're drinking with your meals, all of those are a factor, but really, we've got to stay hydrated all the time, 365. Bodily movement and exercise. If you're not moving and exercising, then you're not going to have a lot of movement in your bowels. If you're exercising normally and regularly and even doing like yoga, that's going to help a lot with your bowel motility. Hormones. I'm not going to go deep into this, but hormones are also acting as messengers. So hormones help other body systems, and if your hormones are all out of whack, then the digestive process is 100% going to be compromised. Medication, prescription medication, a lot of these will impact your bowel movements, and a lot of them will just make you very restricted and constricted. Stress. Stress is a big one. In fact, I'm going to reference a book just after all of these, so hang tight for that. Eating patterns. Again, what's on the end of your fork? Are you drinking excessively with your meals? Are you not chewing? Those are all factors that will impede your ability to have good, healthy poops. Low stomach acid. If you do not have adequate amounts of stomach acid, you will not have adequate digestion. As a result, you will have undigested food particles floating around your gut. They will cause gas or they will bulk up and restrict things and you will become constipated. Low digestive enzymes, very similar to low stomach acid. If you don't have adequate amounts of enzymes, once again, you will not have optimum digestion. Again, as a result, undigested food particles are floating around in your gut, causing gas as well as bulking up. Toxic, sludgy bile. Bile is responsible for the emulsification of fats. It helps break them down. If you do not have healthy bile, you will not have healthy digestion of fats. Again, they're going to bulk up in the colon, cause constipation. Leaky gut. All of these actually cause leaky gut. And if someone has leaky gut, they've got a lot of toxicity happening in their body. They do not have proper assimilation or elimination. As a result, we're going to probably have diarrhea or constipation. Imbalance of good bacteria and bad bacteria, right? So also known as SIBO. Previous infection, whether it be viral or bacterial, those can cause an ongoing stress for the body and be a culprit for constipation. And finally, believe it or not, MNRA technology. All right, I'm going to reference this book, even though I've got hundreds of other books. I just want to reference this one because it's pretty good. So I'm just going to read the full paragraph. Aside from ulcers, the most common stress-related gut disease may be irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. Most of us will experience some degree of IBS during our lifetime. The name IBS is really a catch-all for a variety of intestinal disorders, including colitis, which is inflammation of the lining of the large intestine, also known as the colon, in which abdominal pain is accompanied by diarrhea and/or constipation, bloating, gas, and occasionally passing mucus or blood in the stool. The majority of the gastrointestinal conditions falling under IBS umbrella are either caused or exacerbated by periods of heightened stress. Irish researchers have solidified link between stress, inflammation, and gastrointestinal diseases such as IBS through a series of experiments involving 151 subjects that showed IBS to be clearly exacerbated by stressful physiological events with cortisol and inflammatory cytokines such as interleukin 6 and interleukin 8 elevated in all forms of IBS. That is, IBS with diarrhea, IBS with constipation, or IBS with both. So again, we've got bad news about stress and cortisol for an important bodily system. Stress leads to poor digestion, ulcerated stomachs, and inflamed intestines. Not a pretty picture. These effects tend to result in poor dietary choices, suboptimal nutritional status, a drop in energy levels, and overall feeling of poor well-being. Getting stress and cortisol levels under control can help to reverse these problems. You've heard it from this. Okay, so let's just go over the anatomy of the colon really quick. This is the ascending colon, this is the transverse colon, and here is the descending colon. There's the rectum and there's the anus. Now, in a previous video that I've got, I'll just put the link up right here about diverticulitis. When individuals have diverticulitis or some serious ulceration happening in the large intestine, generally speaking, it's the last 3/4 of the large intestine. That's the descending colon part. Now, if someone is constipated, they will have a buildup of fecal matter that almost essentially can fill up the whole large intestine. And again, that can be very problematic. Now, you've been waiting the whole time. If you've stuck around with me this time, thank you very much. You're waiting for the solutions, so let's talk about the solutions right now. Solution. Most people, and I made a really funny Instagram post about this, talking about a highway traffic jam. Imagine going on the highway at rush hour on a long weekend and the on-ramp is already packed. If you're constipated and someone is telling you to add more fiber to your diet so you can have a good poop, you're literally adding more bulk to the problem. You're adding more cars to the traffic jam. You do not need more fiber. And I will say it again, if you are already constipated, you do not need more fiber. I know so many people are gonna be pissed off when they hear that, especially dietitians. Number 2, increase hydration. You've got to increase your hydration. You've got to stay hydrated. In addition to that, minerals. Minerals are found in water. So if you're drinking pop and alcohol and coffee and not water, you're going to be A, not hydrated, and B, you're going to lack a lot of minerals. And minerals are helpful and responsible for the relaxation and the movement of feces and bowel movements. Exercise and movement, I've said it already. You've got to be moving, you've got to have activity, you've got to be exercising your muscles in order for you to have a good, healthy, moving body. Manage stress, decrease cortisol. I know that's kind of like a catch-all and it's like almost cliche because everyone's saying you got to manage stress, but no, you really do. Mindfulness, meditation, time exclusively just for yourself, staying away from your cell phone, getting a good night's sleep, practicing your gratitudes, all of those are very important. Number 5, consider possible culprits. Medication, pharmaceutical medication. Again, these are very problematic, especially if you're taking like anti-anxiety or depression medication. Those cause constipation, 100%. Okay, so here's a quick fix, quick solution. Magnesium citrate, and it has to be magnesium citrate, and vitamin C. Together, every few hours, it has an osmotic sort of effect. It acts like a laxative, but natural. Number 7, probiotics and prebiotics. You've got to feed your good gut with healthy bacteria, so probiotics are very beneficial. Number 8, digestive enzymes. By helping the whole digestive process with the help of digestive enzymes, that can help break down all of those food molecules into smaller and smaller amino acids and more absorbable micronutrients. Number 9, simplify your meals. Stop having crazy amounts of all these diverse foods. I know it's great to eat with the rainbow, but at the same time, if you've got issues, your best bet is to completely simplify your meals and even have 1 or 2 foods. That's it at the same time. Number 10, check your mindset. Are you holding on to things? Many times there's a correlation with people who have constipation and those that cannot let go of things. They've got grudges. They're sort of holding on and they've got resentment towards something or someone or an instance. Let go. Let go of the past. Maybe you'll be able to let go of some bowels that you're holding on to. Trust me, there's a big connection to that. And then finally, number 11, this is where I come in. If all of these sound good, and if you still want support, I can help you completely reset your gut with my 45-day Gut Accelerator program. It is a step-by-step, methodical, and strategic approach to completely empty out your gut, reintroduce foods that won't cause any disturbance in digestion or gas or bloating. They're easy to digest, they taste great, all while supplementing your body to bring about healthy levels of vitamins and minerals and nutrients. We're supporting the stomach, we're supporting the pancreas, we're supporting the liver, we're supporting your immune system. And it's a successful strategic program. It is my Gut Accelerator. And if that sounds good for you, there's a free training right here below. Click that link, watch the training. It's a 2.5-hour call. And if you watch it, that means I know that you're game. And if you can't stick around for that, then I can't help you out. Until then, thanks so much. Gut Whisperer out.